Okay, guys, this week, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, which awards the Oscars, announced that in 2019, they will add a new award category called Popular Film. Now, it sounds like this move is intended to be more inclusive in the Oscars ceremony with movies that general audiences actually watch in large numbers and increase ratings on the Oscars telecast itself, which hit a ratings low this past year. The Academy said eligibility requirements and other key details of the Popular Film category will be forthcoming. But people have already begun to speculate that this could mean commercial hits like Black Panther and Avengers Infinity War could get recognized. They are probably the most profitable films of this year. Historically, the Oscars tend to snub blockbusters and superhero movies like, remember, The Dark Knight was famously overlooked, and that actually caused them to expand Best Picture to 10 possible nominees. Meanwhile, there are some high-grossing movies that have broken through in the past to get Best Picture, like Titanic and Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, and many, many other popular films have actually gotten nominated. And last year, a lot of these popular films that would have been nominated maybe won for other awards, technical awards, just not the big top.
It's usually like costume design,
visual effects, sound design. And then, of course, over the years, there have been movies like, Get Out and Gravity and Mad Max Fury Road and Inception and all the Pixar movies. They tend to get nominated. Someone said that if this award was available last year, we would have seen nominations for movies like Logan and Wonder Woman and It. So just imagine that kind of lineup. That'd be kind of cool to see a category where those movies are competing against each other. So overall, do you guys think this is a good idea if it means movies like Black Panther and Infinity War get recognized by the Academy finally? And what other movies this year do you think should be considered for this new category, popular film?
Second one first, Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah. Oh, so great. Yeah, if it doesn't get nominated,
one of the best action
ridiculous.
films ever. If they're going to make this stupid category, then like let's go ahead and open it up for real and be like, okay, well, it still has to be like a really good blockbuster movie, and that was.
Yeah.
You know what wasn't? Skyscraper. Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm still mad about it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Don't even bother.
No.
Yeah.
I think that it's kind of nice that the Academy is starting to recognize that they're just a bit out of touch. I mean, this has been indicative with the Oscars So White the last few years now. The fact that, the same kind of person, it's like, is winning a lot of the time. And that it's like, 400,000 people see a movie that we've never really heard of. I'm not dissing Phantom Thread, but it's like, you got all this love and attention, but everyone that I spoke to wasn't watching it. So it's like, unless you're Alicia Malone.
So sorry.
Well, I just kind of like that it's like, we are paying attention to what is mainstream, and we're kind of catching up with the times a little bit more instead of being stuck in this sort of stuffy closet, which is all about snoot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't like the corruption that's behind this decision, because obviously, an actress that gets,
you just put on a Mickey Mouse ears.
Tinfoil Mickey Mouse ears. Yeah.
But if an actor or an actress wins the best Academy for Best Actor or Actress, their rate skyrockets. And so it is, the prestige behind winning the award and the accolade behind it means that you can increase money. So do they really need sort of like more of a reason to get more money?
Right. Money drives all this stuff, right? ABC is, it sounds like they're the ones who are pushing these changes because they host the Oscars telecast, and they're promising we'll make it a shorter show. We'll put more movies in there that general audiences would have seen. Right. So ratings will go up. You can sell more and better advertising.
They're moving the more boring things to behind the commercials, so we don't see it during that part.
So it's all part of that.
That said, I guess I'll play a contrarian today. That'll be my role. I don't know that we need this category. I think it kind of is like crappy that people are already calling it the popcorn Oscar, which just is like, well, thanks for making me feel bad about an Oscar. And then it's like, so the Dark Knight should have been nominated, obviously, but also it's just stupid. I saw a GIF that kind of like changed my thoughts on this, and it was a GIF or it was a picture or something, but it said like, everything is already for you. This one thing is for them.
Right.
And I kind of was like, you know what? What doesn't Avengers Infinity War have?
That's
you know what I mean? Like,
true.
it's like maybe it won't have an Oscar, but it's like, but then Phantom Thread does have an Oscar, and they don't have anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of get that, like, maybe the Oscars aren't supposed to be mainstream. Maybe they're supposed to be like how we should all pay more attention to the arts and stuff. I've always been frustrated. I was super hurt by The Dark Knight not being nominated that year, but I think that is more about stigma than like they need to find a backdoor in.
Got it.
I just want more actual great films nominated, including superhero films and comedies and horrors. Get Out. great. But yeah.
I mean, I see that. I think I kind of go back and forth, right? Because, like, if it had existed last year, Get Out probably would have won that category. It wouldn't have been nominated or had a chance at Best Picture. And a movie this year, like Black Panther, Infinity War, or Fallout, I feel like the way they kind of separate it right now with animated feature, right? They created the animated feature category. In 91, Beauty and the Beast won Best Picture. And people are thinking, well, if animated feature existed then, it wouldn't have even been they would have separated it. Voters would have separated it. But ultimately, I think, like, it's easy because I feel like I'm in a bubble with my friends and we're all, like, living in Hollywood and we go to ArcLight and, like, going to the movie theater is often like, oh, yes, we'll get our movie screeners or we'll want to see it on the big screen. We'll see Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey and analyze it afterwards. And it's easy to be in that bubble, but I love Infinity War. I love Black Panther. I think there's celebration worth having for all movies that do really well and connect with people. And a movie like Jumanji came out, the new one with The Rock, and
which is great.
We loved it. And I think if you're looking at the craft and the tradition that is Hollywood filmmaking, I think you need to celebrate all different kinds of movies, including ones that critics might thumb their noses at as being just too broad, but most people really enjoy.
I just don't want it to get into MTV territory. I think they really just text this number and vote for your favorite. It's a popularity contest. No. If this is an award system.
We want a group of parents to
decide
what movies are
So if it will
awards.
cheapen it in any regard, like,
Parents are the
no good. Because I think the MTV thing's a joke and most of the stars don't even bother going anymore. So yeah, I don't know if they're trying to dissolve what MTV has done with their awards, and it's just like, I'm not entirely sure. It sounds like they are trying to expand their demographic and they've PG-13 the Oscars.
I'm curious to see what the eligibility requirements are. Do they determine it by box office gross? Do they determine it by budget of the movie?
Right, yeah. Well, maybe you submit yourself, I guess, a little bit. And real quick on the note you were saying, like, you can technically still be nominated for Best Picture, but Eric's not wrong in that we all know that a lot of times people get the Oscar nomination, like, because of some other reason, like it's their time or that kind of nonsense. So I definitely think you're right that, like, you know what, we should have done Best Picture, but we have a new category. Let's just do that. I think you're right. It actually will. The Oscars said, no, it could be nominated for both. I think you're more right. It probably won't get nominated for Best Picture anymore.
Yeah.
But I think what's good about it, though, is we'll have a category where these movies have a real chance at winning the top version of that award. Great. So people are now tuning into the broadcast just to see whether it's Infinity War or Black Panther, which is kind of an interesting thing for fans to tune in on. Right. And then
so you didn't say Star Wars? Not in that? Not in the mix at all?
Or Solo? I don't know. I don't know.
It's Marvel versus Marvel.
Right.
Yeah,
it's Disney versus Disney.
But if it is, here's one thing on the side of doing it. Give Marvel some freaking Oscars, and maybe the other people will finally be like, okay, fine, we'll do it the right way.
We'll make
get
a good film.
filmmakers and do it, because it'll be Marvel's Oscar-winning, like, Iron Man 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Versus the a Batman.
I think what it could encourage is these creators of superhero movies to do more movies like Black Panther and Logan, more heartfelt, thematic movies. I think Infinity War was a very thematic journey of sacrifice that you saw Thanos and most of the other characters make. I think if more superhero movies are made with that kind of, like, emotional gut punch, I think that's a good thing. And if an award category on something like the Oscars ceremony does that, I think it could be a really good incentive for directors of those movies to really focus on what do these movies mean and how can I really have an emotional effect on the audience, which I think lifts the tide for all the ships.
Yeah, agreed. I'm going to put you guys on the spot real quick. Give it to Black Panther or Infinity War?
Black Panther.
I would say Black Panther just because there's Infinity War just does so many things
Killmonger
great,
was an amazing villain, not taking away from Thanos, but I think that having Michael B. Jordan in there was incredible. The costume design, what they did with, like, culture in itself,
for me, Black Panther is more of a true film, whereas Infinity War feels like more than a film. That might be a cop out, but
no, it's true. You can't. It's not fair. I actually enjoyed Infinity War more, to be honest. But Black Panther is a standalone movie that's very good. Infinity War is like a epilogue kind of thing. Like what it had to do, the fact that it works at all is amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but we shouldn't say that's the best film.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, let us know what you think about this new category if you have an opinion at all, and if you don't have an opinion about the category, which of these, where do you fall in this debate of what is the best popular film of the year? Because there have been a lot of good movies that are popular and have been very high quality, critically speaking, as well. So let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below, or tweet us all individually.